Welcome to the Gamut of Performance Podcast, episode 15. On this episode of the podcast, I get to talk to strength coach Sean Hayes, who trains WWE NXT wrestlers. I can't think of a cooler job than training wrestlers on the beach. Growing up, every one of us probably watched WWE and wished that we could be one of those stars, but to be able to train one of those stars, that would be truly amazing. Coach Hayes has a really cool approach and thought process behind training wrestlers. So without further ado, here's Coach Sean Hayes. Coach Sean Hayes, thank you so much for your time. I'm really looking forward to talking to you today. For the listeners at home, will you tell us just a little bit about your background, how you got into the profession, and how you got to where you are?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. Excited about this. My background, I played collegiate football at Harvard University, and I was under the strength and conditioning coach Craig Fitzgerald. About a few years after that, I was coaching linebackers at Jacksonville University, coaching on the grass. Coach Fitzgerald was at South Carolina. We kind of reconnected somehow about my second year into coaching at JU. He was on the move to Penn State when the coaching changed with Bill O'Brien. He calls me up, kind of seeing if I wanted to go into the weight room, learn under him. I jumped on that opportunity. So I did 2 years of strength and conditioning at Penn State, and then Bill O'Brien got hired as the head coach of the Houston Texans. I followed along with them, and then I was there for 2 seasons. And then I've been here, and then I had the opportunity to come work in Orlando, Florida with the WWE Performance Center. And then I'm just a little over 2 years here. So kind of back and forth, mostly in football, a little coaching on the grass, strength coaching. And then I've kind of been brought down here. My path took me down here into professional wrestling. So it's been kind of I didn't really know I was going to be a strength coach, but it's just crazy how, that path kind of leads you to where you are, But
yeah.
That's a little bit on my background and
okay.
How that's kind of happened.
That's awesome, and you've had such a cool path. You know what I mean? Like when people think about some of the cool things that you can do outside of college, that's the dream. You know what I'm saying? Working on the beach with some stars. But will you expand a little bit about your time at Harvard and what you were able to learn from playing football there that you might not have learned, say, at any other university?
Yeah, Harvard was. It was it was a very incredible experience. When you're in that university, just like any other university, you're not really thinking of oh wow, I'm at Harvard.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about what I got to do. I got to wake up early. I got to go to this lift. I got to get these grades. I got to study tape. I got to go to practice. We got to win this game. I want to ball out on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I got to make this. I got to make this A on this paper, or I got to try to. So you're not really thinking about, oh wow, I'm at this prestigious university. I didn't really think about it until I was already on my way out.
Oh, okay.
Kind of unfortunately, but Harvard, what I learned there is no one really held your hand. I didn't have an academic advisor. I just kind of showed up on campus, and then the first thing that I did was football camp.
Okay.
So we were in football camp, and then we did about 3 weeks of 2-a-days, and just a regular, good old fashioned football camp, getting ready for fall, and then bam, school started. We moved into our dorms. And then we were just told to go to class. So I never had an academic advisor. I kind of just had to learn on my own.
Wow.
And the coaches had to stay on you about making your grades. Mm-hmm. But you figured a lot out on your own there.
Okay.
And you learned how to grow up real quick, because if you didn't go to class, you weren't going to pass at all. You just weren't. It wasn't like every class was extremely, extremely hard.
Uh-huh.
But if you didn't go to class, there was no way you were going to pass.
That makes sense.
There was no way.
Okay.
So it forced you to get up. First of all, you had 5:30 in the morning workouts with Coach Fitzgerald, who's now the head strength coach at University of Tennessee.
Okay.
His workouts were ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
And then you had to go to class, and then you had to go to practice, and then So like you learn how to do things on your own and figure it out, and that's kind of that was a big lesson I learned at Harvard. And I was just around a lot of cool people at Harvard. Everybody on that team was special kids, because they were really smart and they were really athletic. And then I look back, I keep in touch with them now, and it's like, man, these guys are doing some incredible things,
Okay.
One guy I played with was Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry's like the assistant GM of the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
Like he's the next move up for him is to be general manager.
That's
he's
crazy.
Like the same age as me, 31. So
yeah,
he just another guy I played ball with is killing it in California. Corey Mazza, I just saw him back in May out in LA, and he's working with like big time athletes to invest their money. Like he was like. So some of these cats. Another buddy of mine is like a lawyer in New York. A lot of guys I know are on Wall Street, and it's just the people I were real special, and they're all doing like crazy like just with what I think. In my eyes, I'm like, wow, these guys are really doing well for themselves. And I got to share that locker room with them, or dorm rooms, things like that, and with just some incredible people, young adults at that time,
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And that's great company to be in and be able to stay in contact with people of one, not only that athletic level, but to have the brain, you know what I mean? And be able to juggle it all in one setting. Like that's really underrated, I think.
I think it, we just being a student in general in college is hard. And then you tap on the demands of like competing in Division I athletics. Yeah. The Ivy League might not get a good rep, but I think that's changed now. I think people are starting to realize that you got some pretty damn good athletes in the Ivy League, and you look around the NFL. I think there's a player and maybe on every team or something like that, or it's like something. It's a lot more Ivy League players in the NFL now than there's ever been. And so you're starting to get. People are starting to realize, like, hey man, these guys in the Ivy League can play too. Yeah. But it's not like we train less because our academic schedule is harder. We have to train and practice just as long. Yeah. We got to study just as much tape. Yeah. And we got to write papers that are extremely hard graded by these professors, and we got to take these times. I remember like our economics exams were timed. We had to finish them in 45 minutes.
Oh wow!
And if they weren't done, you just turned it in.
Oh my gosh, stressful.
It was hard, man. It was hard. I went to a public school in Florida, so I wasn't like the smartest kid.
Yeah. No,
I didn't play football.
I'm with you. I'm right there with you. I had enough time finishing my tests in the normal limit, so to finish that, that's crazy. But
it kind of like forced you to do it.
Yeah.
It's like no one really held your hand.
This is the bar. Yep, exactly.
So when you get out of that, when you get that school and you graduate, you're like, okay, I'm pretty much ready for anything. I'm pretty much all right. No matter what path you go on, it's like, all right, I can handle that. Yeah. I got this.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So moving forward a little bit, let's talk about a little bit about your experience in professional football, right? So what are some of the biggest takeaways that you still carry with you from pro football?
I learned a lot from the pros on how to be a pro.
Okay.
And what it took to be a pro. Guys like Brian Cushing, J.J. Watt, Jonathan Joseph. Those guys were at the top of they were the best on the team. They were at the top, not only on their team, but in their position throughout the league. And seeing them work and how they approached their job and how they perfected their craft really kind of like, okay, this is what it takes. Like, they're great athletes. Okay, I got it. But they're also stay on top of their recovery. They stay on top of their diet. They stay late after practice. DeAndre Hopkins is an example. Like that guy's probably the second first best receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He always stayed late after. Always never missed a workout.
Yeah.
Agent Boye is one of the highest paid corners in the league. He plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars. When he was in Texas, he was an undrafted rookie, undrafted free agent.
Mm-hmm.
It was like third, fourth string on my first year there. Worked his way up the depth chart. Battled DeAndre Hopkins every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Made it really extremely difficult with him on scout team.
Mm-hmm. And
then bam, now he's the highest. He's the best corner, one of the best corners in the league.
Wow.
It's like what it takes to be pro.
Yeah.
How detailed they are. So I learned a lot from a guy like J.J. Watt. I learned a lot from a guy like Brian Cushing. I learned a lot because I was a young assistant coach. I kind of went along for the ride under Coach Fitzgerald. And so seeing what it took to be successful at that level, hard work ethic, that was one of the biggest takeaways, because I used those guys' examples a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm at now,
Yeah, no, I love it. So, I mean, a lot of people talk about the glamorous things about working in pro sports, right? But what are some of the lowlights that you had to endure?
Yeah, I'd say, look, you're in the NFL and everyone's like, oh, wow, yeah, you got this dream job. But, you really don't, coach a whole lot in the NFL,
Yeah.
These guys have already been through 4 or 5 years, big-time college football.
Mm-hmm.
They're already developed, they're at their peak, they're fully developed. They're great athletes. There's not really a whole lot of yeah, sure, you got to coach them up on some things here and there, but for the most part, nowadays, everyone's pretty much got a pretty good strength coach in college.
Yeah.
Cats out of the bag,
Exactly.
You guys know what they're doing now, so it's not like you're cleaning up technique a whole lot. You're just kind of trying to get them a good workout so they kind of maintain and stay healthy throughout a season. You don't see them a whole lot in season. You don't. You might see them 2 or 3 days a week, and then in the off season, you don't see them a whole lot either. So it's you're not doing a whole lot of coaching. If you like the coach. I don't know. Maybe the NFL's not the best place for you.
Yeah.
But I would say that's not. And then I'd say the other thing that's not so glamorous is the highs and lows of winning and losing. Let's be honest. The wins and losses in the NFL are just very stressful. When you win in that locker room, everything is great.
Yeah.
Mistakes get covered up.
Okay.
Win, you get compensated for those wins, especially when you make the playoffs. Everyone's happy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you lose, man, everybody in that organization is down.
Okay.
Then you lose twice in a row.
Yeah.
Shit. Then you lose 3 in a row. Now you're thinking about getting fired.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. Even though it is glamorous to be in there, and it's oh shit, you're working with elite, you're working with the best of the best. Those are some of the things that maybe people might not think about. It okay, well, A, you're really not coaching a whole lot, and then B, you lose 2, 3 in a row, you might be looking for another job. It's just the stresses of the wins and loss records.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense, and I wouldn't have even thought about that. I mean, losing in the college it's already sucks, but for the most part, you got some kind of job security for at least that year. That must be tough to think about, especially with all this road schedule. You know what I mean? Thinking about your job, it's hey, I might not be here very long. That's something that I think a lot of people don't really get.
Right, but I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, college football it depends on the level of where you're at.
That's true.
But it's just some of the things looking back. Now I'm man, it was cool. It was I'm really fortunate to have experienced it. But there's no place that's perfect. It's not going to be there's never going to be a perfect job where it's everything's great. There's no faults or flaws to a job or anything. There's always going to be a good and a bad. Does the good outweigh the bad? I guess.
That makes sense. No, that's the best way you can look at it, right? So how did you even get into pro wrestling? How did this whole process start?
So when I was with Houston, Brian Cushing was the inside linebacker at the time.
Okay.
Me and, I trained, at that time, I trained the combo guys. So I would train like the tight ends, the fullbacks, the linebackers, outside linebackers. I trained the combos. Me and Brian Cushing were close. I trained him all the time, and I was in charge of that group.
Yeah.
We kind of clicked, personality-wise. Great guy. Super athlete. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
He's like, and I if you're a strength coach in this business, you probably know who Joe DeFranco is just from just YouTubing, football, strength and conditioning. Joe DeFranco's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
And then once you realize who Joe DeFranco is, you're like, oh yeah, Brian Cushing. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Brian Cushing trained with him. So I'm like, yeah. So I would pick me. I remember when we first got to Houston, I couldn't wait to talk to Brian about Joe.
Yeah.
I was like, Joe's like the legend in the field. So I'm like, oh, how is he? He's like, oh, man, he's great, this and that. And at the time, Joe D had like an affiliation with Onnit.
Okay.
Which Onnit is based in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
So they're no longer like affiliated anymore, Joe DeFranco and Onnit, but at the time they were. And Joe was coming down to Onnit facility like once a month.
Okay.
So Cushing was like, hey man, like actually Joe's going to be down at like Austin this year. Why don't you guys go and meet him and talk shop? So me and my boss, Coach Gerald, we drove down there like 2-3 hour drive to Austin. Set up a meeting with him. We just kind of talked shop, picked his brain. I remember like writing down like my boss made me write down questions for Joe D and like, hey man, how do you do this? And like how would you train football guys in season? And he was very cool, answered every question. And then he's like, hey man, like I'm doing a certification here in like a month or two. Why don't you guys come down and get certified if you want? I was like, hell yeah, I jumped on that opportunity. So a couple months later, went down and got certified in his CPPS certification that he does with Jimmy Smith.
Okay.
Jim Smith. Once I got certified with that, it just kind of opened my eyes on like his type of training, his template, his style, the whys to what he does things and the things that he does, how to set up a workout plan. Just the flow of it, like everything from the start, the warm up to the finished product, and then how to organize it, how to what your week would look like. So that really helped me a lot. Then I started to do his workouts. I remember he sent me Strong Bastard. And I did Strong Bastard like over and over again. It's like a 9-week workout plan. I did it like I would do it 9 weeks. I would like test, and then I would like take a week off, and I'd do it again. And I would start communicating with Joe, text him, like, hey man, what's this exercise mean? Or what's it cool? Like, am I doing this right? Like, am I reading this right? He would always answer back. So that relationship, like I had a relationship with Joe just on that fact, like just on the fact that I went to a certification and I was friends with Brian Cushing and I was doing his program. Okay. Fast forward 2 years, I knew that he trained Triple H. Okay. Triple H is a famous professional wrestler. Yeah. I grew up watching WWE, WWF. Huge fan, always was at the time. I would still order like every big pay-per-view and everything and watch it when I could. Yeah. So I knew, just being a fan, I knew that he trained Triple H. So a couple years go by. Still in Houston, he shoots me a text. Hey, Sean, I just got done working out with Hunter, and they're looking for a strength coach down in Orlando. Would you be interested? Well, we had just finished our season with our second year. We won the AFC South. We signed another 2-year contract extension, and so I had a decision to make for what I wanted to do. So I felt my gut, people say go with your gut. You've got to make decisions. I knew in my gut I wanted to take this. It's something that I wanted to do. It had nothing to do against being with Houston and nothing like that. It's just the fact that I was always a fan of professional wrestling, and I felt like it was a unique opportunity that I couldn't pass up. Yeah. And then I thought it was going to be cool that Joe D was involved because he trains Hunter, and like Hunter would be my new boss. And it was just like a cool thing. And so, yeah, I jumped on the opportunity. I left like on a Friday, Houston. I drove down. I got to Florida on Saturday, and I started work on Monday.
Wow.
And I've been working here ever since.
Wow. Okay, well, that's amazing. That's really the dream for everyone. Like a lot of guys that grow up like myself, watching wrestling, like that is an amazing opportunity that I don't really think you can pass up, right? That's one of those ones that if you did, you would regret it, I feel like.
Yeah. So I kind of knew right away, I was like, man, yeah, this is it. I got to take this. And plus, I grew up in Florida, born and raised in the state here. Okay. So my family's down here, and that was a big, I'm close to home. I bought a house in Cocoa Beach, so I'm not that far from my house. Okay. Cocoa Beach. So it just kind of worked out that way. It was good on that end too. But I've never looked back since, and it's been just a tremendous experience here. That's amazing.
So let's dive into training a little bit, right? So how can you balance training with obviously the highly hectic road schedule for many of these athletes that you work with?
Yeah, so that's the challenge, right? There's no if I were to take another football job, there's tons of football strength coaches out there where I could call and ask that question. Hey man, how do you program in season? Yeah. Oh, okay. Would you keep it like 75%? Okay, go. Well, there's no blueprint there's no other strength coach in the WWE to ask that question, right? There is none. It's kind of like uncharted waters. Exactly. So I leaned heavily on Joe D. I did. I was like, hey man, what do you think I should do? How do you think I should? He goes, all right, man. He's like, he's like, I would do a version of the Strong Bastard. So I would just kind of do like a Strong Bastard version of training where it was like a conjugate system where we lifted like kind of like a West Side barbell method. Okay. We lifted heavy early in the week, and then you had like a dynamic day and like a repetitive effort day or a hypertrophy day. So as I started getting familiar and figuring out the schedule, and I kind of, obviously I'm a better strength coach for WWE now after 2 years than I was at the beginning, but you kind of build that blueprint as you go. And I work with the NXT roster. Okay. I work with the guys that are only here in the WWE Performance Center, so I know their schedule. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I know I'm going to see the entire roster. Okay. So if we have like 90 people on the roster, I'm going to see, and most of the time, I'm going to see them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. Half that roster is going to go off on a road trip Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The other half are going to work local Florida shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. So most of the time, they're all working Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. Yeah. I might see them Thursday and Friday. I might not, because Thursday and Fridays are optional. Okay. So what I do is I do a lower body Monday, upper body Tuesday, and a recovery day Wednesday. Gotcha. And if you were to look at any professional organization, a football team, they're going to get 3 lifts in a week. Yeah. So if I know I can get 3 good lifts in that week, I feel good. Okay. If they want to come in Thursday and Friday, we're going to continue on with the week. But it's not necessarily like I feel good. I feel good for them being in a 52-week season sport year round. Yeah. I feel pretty good if I can get a good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday out of them. Yeah. And then, if everything else is just extra icing on the cake. Okay. So, I don't use percentages. I think that's key. If I were to put a percentage on athlete A, and I would have to assume that every time that he walks into that weight room, he's at 100%, and they're just not. They take too many bumps. They travel too much. They're rarely at 100%. That's a good point. I tell them, I give them rep range. Hey guys, today let's do 3 sets of 4 weight that we can handle per set. Okay. So that might be different the following week because you might feel like crap. Yeah. If you think about it, I always tell them to leave 1 to 2 reps in the tank.
Okay.
So they're never really lifting at 100% like max intensity, but they're never really lifting below 75% either. They're staying around that 75 to 90, 95% range.
Okay.
So I want that rep to be, and if I stay at that and I hover that 52 weeks a year, I can train all year round, and I can train the following year because it's nonstop.
Yeah.
But if I ever hit them at 100, I got to take a week off. You know, if I ever match them, I got to take a week off. But if I stay in that 80 range, 80 to 90, and I just kind of hover there, and all right, hit a good set of 4 this week, guys. Okay, that's it. We're doing 1 good set of 4, bam, then we'll do a drop set. Or, all right, guys, like we're gonna do 3 sets of 4, but it's really weight you can handle for 6. So you're not. I want the reps to be clean. I don't want these reps to be like max effort reps. All right, here we go.
You're never truly taking a deload week then, because you're continuously kind of undulating that volume and percentage.
Yeah, we will take deload weeks.
Okay.
We'll do it every like 6 to 8 weeks though.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so
yeah.
We'll live for a good 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we'll take 1.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah.
We can lift pretty consistently. With that kind of rule in mind. Hey guys, like we're leaving 1 to 2 reps in the tank.
Okay.
Some people get it, some people don't. Usually your older athletes realize it. The younger guys, they kind of want to go for it. But a big rule for me in the weight room is no miss reps. As soon as I miss that rep, I mean, you know as well as I do that that CNS gets fried and it's going to be harder to recover. But if I can cleanly get those reps, and I'm not saying go light. I want to go heavy.
Definitely.
But I want to get that rep clean. I walk out of there feeling better than I walked in. I won't need to recover as much.
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of worked with us.
Okay.
We've kind of, I never really go over, like if it's a major exercise, I'm never really going over five sets.
Okay.
5-6 sets. And then it's like, instead of doing like 4 sets of a supplemental exercise, we're doing 2, maybe 3.
Okay.
So we're cutting the volume down back end.
That kind of junk volume, you're just kind of eliminating it. No, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, you eliminate the junk volume. You're getting them in and out. You're not. It's not like a. The workouts are hard. But the volume on the major exercises are down.
Okay.
And then the sets on the body armor stuff are down. So like, let's say you took a traditional upper body workout, right? Let's say you did, I don't know, 6 to 8 sets of 5 reps is probably what you do on bench press, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And then you go to like dumbbell incline for like 4 sets of 10. And then you would do like shoulder raises, 3 sets of 10. Okay. 3 sets of 12. And then you would do like arms, bis and tris, shrugs or something like that. Or you get your rows in there, maybe 4 sets of 10 rows. We're going to do 5 sets of 5 or 5 sets of 3 on bench. We're going to do 3 sets of rowing, and then we're going to do 2 sets of shoulders, and then finish with bis and tris and we're out the door.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So just kind of
simplify.
Kind of slashing the volume.
Yeah.
We're kind of slashing the volume of a heavy upper day, and we're just kind of slashing it in half.
Okay. No, I like that.
And what that does, that leaves them wanting more.
Yeah.
And a lot of them can. And I never like kick them out of the weight room. They want to get extra. They want to get extra stuff. Go ahead. Go get it. You know. That leaves them wanting more, and then that feeling allows us to continually train because these guys aren't have like, you know, it's 52 weeks a year. It's continuous. The day after WrestleMania is Monday Night Raw. Yeah. You know? It ain't like our Super Bowl Sunday WrestleMania. But then we're right back to work Monday night. We gotta, you know, they gotta perform, and so it's just a nonstop train, man. Just going and going and going.
I love it. So with a population like this, right? I'm assuming you're not doing very much testing. What kind of key performance indicators are you looking at?
So we'll do like a combine.
Okay.
We do a combine every year, but so the key performance indicators for us. So. We do 5 major lower body exercises, 5 major upper body exercises. Okay. So those five major lower body exercises, we're going to rotate every 2 weeks. Okay. I'm going to do 2 weeks of box squat. I love the box squat. That's a KPI for us. Okay. Bench press, barbell bench press, KPI for us. After 2 weeks, though, we're switching the exercise. I don't want to do 3 weeks of box squat because I don't want them to keep going up in weight and risking injury.
Yeah.
Bam, switch the exercise.
Okay.
Sumo deadlift. That's a KPI. Floor press.
Okay.
Narrow grip. That's a KPI. Switch it to, we do a hover bench or an isometric bench press. Where we hover right above our shirt. We want to slightly touch our shirt, pause, drive up.
Yeah.
We do a safety bar split squat. We do incline band resistant bench press. We do front squat. We do a Swiss bar bench, and we do a trap bar deadlift.
Okay.
So we got 5 major lowers, 5 major uppers. We just 2 weeks of the bench press. All right, now we got 2 weeks of the floor press, 2 weeks of the 2 weeks of the hover bench, 2 weeks of the incline band resistant, 2 weeks of Swiss bar. Oh shit! I just trained for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Throw a deload in there. That's 11 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. Schedule's always crazy in here. They might have photo shoots going on. They might miss another week. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, next thing you know, it's 12 weeks, right? What's
Definitely.
12 weeks? 3 months?
Yeah.
3.5 months? Okay, I go back to bench press.
And they just start the cycle.
They forgot what they did 3 months ago.
Okay.
I track it. I track what they did. Go back to bench press. All right, here we go. Are you getting stronger?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the guy just increased 10 pounds. Sweet. Right?
That's awesome, yeah.
So now it keeps them from, by always switching the exercise, you never get stale. You got to train these guys year round. You're constantly giving them variety. But then let's say they bench press. Let's say week 1 on bench press was like 3x4, and week 2 is 3x2.
Okay.
All right, or 3x3. If I were to go week 3 on bench press, that means they'd have to do 2s. Now I'm kind of like sit up there and wait, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's safe. We might be able to get away with it, but why take the chance? Let's cut it at 2 weeks. Let's change exercise.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Okay, cut it at 2 weeks, change exercise.
Yeah.
Cut it at 2 weeks, change exercise. Cut it at 2 weeks. I can train like that. I can train like that all the time. I can train like that year round.
Okay.
Because I'm never plateauing. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas like a linear periodization, you have to stay on that train. You have to stay on 8s, 6s, 5s. Let's say you're a top guy on our company, and you got a hospital visit to make, and you missed that week of training, or you missed that day of training.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to jump on week 2.
Yeah.
And not miss a whole lot than it is if you're on a train and you miss week 8. If you missed a week of 8s, man, it's going to be hard for you to go back to go to 6s.
Yeah. And
because
then,
that weight load's going to be different. Or
exactly.
If you missed a week of 6s,
yeah,
and you got to go to 4s, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
If you just missed a week of a 2-week cycle, all right, yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, you got 3x3 today. You didn't miss much.
Exactly. No, that's nice.
It's easier to hop back on the train.
Okay. No, I like that. And with this stuff, right?
In my opinion.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. So with this kind of population, is there a lot of like speed work that you have to do with them, or how does that look?
So we always, like before we lift, we always do something explosive. It's like a tail end of our warm up.
Okay.
So on a lower body day, we'll do some sort of box jump, weighted box jump, explosive movement, power shrug, power clean, med ball toss. Some type of explosive jump, maybe it's speed ladder, maybe it's sled sprint, maybe it's like a kneeling start, it's something, boom, quick, explosive.
Yeah.
So we like to throw that in on a consistent basis. Upper body day, we're doing a lot of med ball throws.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of upper body violent exercises like a landmine thrust or a med ball chest pass or a file push-up. We're doing something explosive. And then our Thursdays, like I said, like if you choose to come in on Thursday's dedicated to dynamic athletic lower body.
Okay.
So we're doing speed squats. We're doing sled sprints. We're doing single leg jumps. We're doing box jumps. We're doing. We're constantly switching that up. We're doing freaking. That's what you're gonna get. Maybe our broad jumps. Maybe our speed deadlift. So that's our day for that. And then so we dedicate one day a week for our guys to be athletic, but we're athletic movements or like explosive speed movements are sprinkled in throughout the entire week.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, that makes sense. And so how long does a typical session last with your groups?
So I get them typically for an hour and 15 minutes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursdays and Fridays we have an hour. After the prep on a Monday and Tuesday, the lift's going to be a little heavier. Okay. So that prep work is going to be about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay. The prep. Yeah. And the last thing we're doing on that prep is what I just explained, like an explosive movement. Yeah. So now that takes us that ends at about 30 minutes. We got about 30 minutes of the lift, maybe 35. Okay. They usually have 5 minutes near the end to do what they want, but you know, maybe sometimes just last 40 minutes and then it takes them out the door. But we're really only like lifting. Like I write on the whiteboard, half the whiteboard is prep, and then half is the workout. Okay. No, that's good stuff. So one thing that I've been wondering, right? So obviously pro wrestlers, they have very big personalities, and I'm assuming the same goes for the strength coaches. So how does that balance out in the weight room as far as like the dynamic? Is that tough to like handle them sometimes, or? No, these guys are the character of these guys and girls are just you'd have to meet them to experience it. So like every organization has a culture, right? Yeah. Well, wrestling has its own culture. Wrestling's culture is that everything is about respect. Okay. You respect the business. You respect the mat. You respect you sweep the mat. You set up the mat. You set up the ring. You shake everybody's hand in this company, in this culture. You look them in the eyes. How's it going? Hello. You might not even know them. Yeah. It's a culture, and that culture has been around for a very, very long time. And you only understand that culture if you're involved in it. If you're one of the athletes, if you're one of the coaches. Okay. So that, for the most part, that culture is kind of like molded and shaped the type of athlete that's very respectful. So I rarely have issues of them like not wanting to do something. Yeah. They're very like professional. Okay. So their personalities, however, help out. They help me in the weight room because that livens up the energy. Yeah. We want them to be in character, or we want them to show personality, and they have zero problem doing that. These guys get paid to show personality, so they're not afraid to do it. You know, like they're not afraid to be loud. They're not afraid to try different things or make a joke or get called upon on the spot. Like they don't get shy. This is their job. They lift half naked on camera. Like they just don't get shy. So it makes for a very fun lifting environment. You crank up the music. You got guys joking at each other. You got guys like, just open to try different things. And it's just it helps in it benefits me in my part. It's definitely not a hindrance at all. Okay. No, that's awesome. And so one of the other things I wanted to touch on, right? So I see on like social media stuff, you're always doing some kind of continuing education. Will you just touch on the importance of continuing education, and then will you kind of segue that into this experience that you recently went through about Muscle Camp? Yeah, definitely. Well, continuing education is important. You know the saying, like, you think you know everything, you don't know anything, and that's true. Yeah. You can always learn. So I'll give you an example of some of the continuing education that I do. WWE is a great company. they're very big in professional development, and they're very helpful in that, and they want us as employees to experience and go out and seek professional development.
Okay.
One of those is this thing called Leaders. It's an organization WWE is involved in. And we went out to LA. I met, man, it was an incredible experience. I went with my boss. We met organizations everywhere from NFL football teams, NBA to like Cirque du Soleil. We met European football clubs.
Oh wow, okay.
We met like Delta Airlines. It was all about like how do you get higher performance.
Okay.
And whether you're in athletics, whether you're just in business. So it was very cool, very, very cool continuing education. It was like you're sitting in this round discussion, and I'm sitting across like the head strength coach for the LA Rams.
Yeah.
Tim, what's his name?
Ted Rath.
Coach Rath. Ted Rath. And then across from him is like the CEO of Delta, and then like across from them is like the head performance director of Cirque du Soleil.
That's crazy.
And it's just like, wow, man, this is crazy, you know, like these guys are smart individuals, and and you hear Luke Walton.
Oh wow, okay.
For the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
He's speaking of how he deals with his. You had movie producers and how they're able to coach all these different employees on a movie set and how they get one goal accomplished on a finished product on a screen. So it's like you hear all these different problems that they have and how they deal with it. You're sharing your stories on like WWE and what we experience, and so that was a very unique and beneficial example. There's multiple throughout the year, and I'm going to one in September or August in Tampa at IMG Academy, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm a big Sorenex fan.
Okay.
I've been going to the Summer Strong Sorenex for the past 3-4 years.
Yeah, that looks exciting. Yeah.
Education. Those just keep getting better and better. You know, each year the lineup is just top notch.
Yeah.
Great speakers and different, not just great speakers that are speaking about the same thing, but different speakers that are giving you different info and different subjects, topics. And then, obviously, I like that Joe DeFranco does this certification once a year here at the Performance Center.
Okay.
So this will be he's doing it again here in September. So every time, this will be my third time going, and man, I learned something every time. I act like I'm a student going for the first time again.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
That's crazy.
And then this year was Muscle Camp. So
yes, I'm excited about this. Okay.
Yeah. So Muscle Camp was run by a guy named Tim Karen.
Okay.
Tim Karen is probably one of the. If he's not known as the best strength coach in the business, he should be known as it, or one of them. He's very, very knowledgeable. He's got an extensive background. He used to be the head strength coach at Army. Before that, he was assistant at USC, assistant at Ole Miss.
Okay.
He worked under Aaron Osmus for a few years, and then after at Army, he had the opportunity to take over a private sector deal out in LA, and he run a facility. He runs a private facility for general population, but he trains the general population as if they were like in a team environment.
Okay.
So it's not a one-on-one training session. It's like you're coming in and you're getting trained like an athlete. How I train the guys at USC or Army, and you're going to pay for this experience, and you're going to get the best training and this and that.
Okay.
So when I was out in LA. For the Leaders organization, I met up with Tim because I know Tim through Tim was an intern at Harvard when I was a freshman.
Okay.
And then I reconnected with Tim when he was at Army.
Okay.
They played twice, so they had to travel to Houston, and they wanted J.J. Watt to speak to the Army team. So I brought J.J. to speak, and that's when I reconnected with Tim.
Okay.
So I knew that he moved to LA. So while I was in LA, I went to go visit his gym to work out in. He's like, hey, man, we're doing this thing called muscle camp. You should look into it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll get the company to pay for it.
Yeah.
They're really big into professional development.
Mm-hmm.
So I sign up for it. I know, man, I go there. It's a week long. 6 people showed up.
Okay.
First time he's ever done it.
Yeah.
And it's literally like all the knowledge that Tim Karen has in his brain, strength conditioning and how to like build muscle and add like get gains, thrown into 5 days.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And it was so intense. You can imagine, like there was drop set protocols, there was a cluster protocol, there was like wave method protocol.
Yeah.
We lifted twice a day. We did an upper body session the first day, a lower body session the second day, an arm farm day the third day, back to lower body the fourth day, and upper body the 5th day.
And I know if you're saying it's intense, that it's got to be something next level. So.
Oh yeah, it's like I'm taking stuff like I was like a kid in a candy store because I knew I could take things. You know, obviously I would never like have our guys do a muscle camp. Their bodies would just like we were like experiments. We were like human experiments. Like our bodies were fried. Like we took like a fatigue like sheet, and like our heart rate was like my resting heart rate was like 72.
Oh my gosh!
I started at like 60. I was like extremely overtrained. But that was the goal. That was the goal. Like that was like what we signed up for.
Okay.
But it was cool because for the first time I was the athlete. You know, since college, like I wasn't the coach. I didn't have to coach anybody. I was getting coached by one of the best. Like I didn't have to worry about setting the weight room up. I didn't have to worry about coaching everybody. All I had to do was show up, ready to go. They wrote down my weights. They put the info in my card. They had those shit set up in the weight room, and they just trained us. They coached us. And like I was the athlete. I was like I had the experience of what a pro athlete does, because after we trained that first session, we got massage therapy.
Oh, okay.
Second day, we got IV treatment.
Okay.
The third day, back to massage therapy. Then we did session number 2, and then so it was like, how does the best of the best at his sport or her sport not only train but like deal with recovery? How do they recover at the fastest rate? Yeah. So we learned all that. They fed us like prime like just top of the line food and nutrients. Learned a lot about supplementation, what to take, how to take it, when, all of that stuff, right? Because you realize you're putting your body through hell. Yeah. But by putting your body the right supplements and nutrients, like that's the only way you're going to get through it. Yeah. You know. How do you take something that's going to boost your neurological system so that you can wake up and get ready for another heavy squat session when 2 days ago you just squatted the house? Yeah, How do you do that? Like, would I ever do that? Would I ever ask our athletes here that are pro athletes to do that? No. But knowing how to do that, knowing what it feels like and know what it takes, okay, I know if I wanted to build muscle on my lower body, I can take some of the drop set protocols that I learned from muscle camp, or the weight protocols, or the hypertrophy protocols on shoulders and arms. I can apply them at the end of an upper body workout, or I can apply them at the end of a lower body workout if a guy or a girl wants extra lower body mass. Yeah. So it's like, so it was so beneficial, not only from the knowledge standpoint, and like I became a better coach, but it was beneficial for me to hit the reset button. Yeah. And it was beneficial for me to get coached for a week. Yeah, that's awesome. I thought I was getting coached. Yeah. And then I'm getting coached by Tim Karen, and I'm watching him coach, and I'm like, oh man, this guy's good. Next level, yeah. I thought I was like good, but then I'm seeing this guy coach, and this guy's way smarter than me, way cooler than me. I'm like, I fucking suck. But it's like, it was cool in that standpoint because I was the one getting trained. Yeah. I went from coach to athlete again, and so that was good reset button.
That's awesome. And that's kind of a good segue into this next thing, right? So you talked about resetting a little bit. So a lot of people in strength and conditioning, they get burned out with the day-to-day, right? How can they diversify, rediscover their love for, the iron game, and how can they kind of reset?
That's a good question, man. What helps me is I get away. Like, I'm fortunate with this job because I have my weekends off. Like, I don't travel.
Okay.
With the roster.
Yeah.
Because if I were to travel on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday with like the guys that are on TV, I would miss. There's another half of the roster that wants to train Thursday, Friday, so I got to be here in Orlando.
Yeah.
It's like taking a travel squad, but like, what do you do with the non-travel squad? Just leave them out to dry? Like, no, I got to stay here and train them.
Okay.
So I have my Saturday and Sunday off, so it's very important for me to get away from this place. I go to Cocoa Beach.
Yeah.
I go see family. I go box. I don't lift weights on Saturday. I don't think about work on Saturday and Sunday. Like, I get all my stuff done on Friday that I need to do, and I get away from it. And that's 2 days. That's helpful.
Okay.
That's helpful for me.
Yeah.
And then I kind of look forward to coming in on Monday. You know?
Yeah.
I kind of look forward to seeing the guys and the girls again. And I think that helps. I think changing the exercises and the workouts every 2 weeks is big because you're always kind of doing something different.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not doing the same mundane, like, oh, yeah, we got back squat again, guys. Here we go. Like, oh, no, hey, guys, we got trap bar again.
Yeah.
Like, we got trap bar, new week.
Yeah.
We got trap bar dead, or we got, maybe it's a medicine ball challenge. So, different challenges in the week. Okay. Always kind of changing up.
Yeah.
The flow, like, the change helps from being mundane. I would say those two things have helped me. Have I ever felt the point of being burnt out here? Yeah, sure. I mean, 52 weeks a year.
Yeah, it's tough to avoid.
No off season.
Yeah.
I think every strength coach has probably felt like that. But I like to, if you're in it every day, if you're at your facility every single day, including weekends, you're gonna go insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna go insane.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, I get away, man. Friday, I get my reports done. I'm hitting the road. I'm going to the beach, or I'm going to St. Pete Beach, or I'm going to Jacksonville Beach, or I'm going to go see my nephew. Like, I ain't putting a bar on my back on Saturday. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it on Sunday either. Yeah. I'm not lifting weights. I'm lifting my weights Monday through Friday. I'm getting away from it. Man, I can't wait to get back to it on Monday. Yeah. That's what I feel like. I might, in that little time away helps me, that wanting to get back to it on Monday again,
Okay. No, that's a good answer. And then kind of pulling on that thread a little bit more, right? So I would say that you fashioned like a really good life for yourself in strength and conditioning. What would you say about, or some advice that you would say of how people can work to build a life versus just living in a job? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know if
it's a tough question, I know.
Yeah, it's tough because I kind of got lucky with it. But I'll give you an example. So when I was in Houston, I thought for sure I was going to stay in Houston. We won the AFC South. We were a team on the rise. Bill O'Brien's a phenomenal head coach. I had a good relationship with Coach Fitzgerald, a great relationship. He helped me out a lot. Yeah. Got my start in this whole thing. There was no reason for me to leave. Okay. So, but what I started to do, I started to save up money, and I bought a house. Okay. And I knew that. I told myself this. I said, I want to buy a house for me because wherever I go, I'm gonna rent there. Like I'm just gonna rent whatever city be a strength coach at, whether it's Penn State, Houston. If we move to Philly, we take the Philly job, or I get a head strength coach at some other job. I'm going to rent there. and then I'm gonna always go back to like Cocoa Beach or my hometown, and I'm gonna, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, a month, that's gonna be my vacation spot. So I kind of had that plan while I was in Houston.
Okay.
And then it just kind of worked out that I got offered in Orlando, and now I'm a lot closer to my beach house where I can kind of go there on the weekend. But I had that vision of like, okay, like I had, and I got that from a guy named Jim Bernhardt, who was an associate, like to Bill O'Brien with the Houston Texans and Penn State. And he was an older guy, been around a long time. And he told me on a flight one day where, I don't know who we were playing, but he said, Sean, wherever you go, this business is going to take you so many places.
Yeah.
Rent there, get yourself a safe house. Like, get yourself a place where you can, like, go see family, go to, like, where you want to go. And wherever you're at, you're going to rent there, and then you got a spot, you know, your home base. He goes, he calls it home base.
Yeah.
Have a home base. And wherever you're at, you just rent there. It's temporary.
I like that. Okay.
So, not to saying that WWE is temporary for me. I'm speaking to like maybe the strength coaches out there. Work on getting a house or something stable at a home. Have a home base because most jobs there's you know, you leave, you go somewhere else. Maybe you know. You can take this opportunity, then that opportunity takes you here, and then you hit your wagon to this head coach, and this head coach gets hot, takes you to there. So, like, but have a home base. Wherever, like, picture where you want to be a home base at. To me, I'm a beach guy. Like, I love the beach. I love to run on the beach. I love to be on the ocean and just, you know, have that ocean air. And I wanted my home base to be by my family, and that kind of helped me have a life. I got 2 nephews I get to see on the weekends and stuff, and my dad lives in my house. There on the beach, so I see him every weekend. So it's kind of helped me, albeit it's only like 2 days, but it's better than nothing, you know?
No, most definitely. No, that's awesome, and that's a great answer. That's huge to me. And in this last little segment, right, so there's just about 2 or 3 questions. So these are just going to be kind of quick hitters, and so you just kind of answer like the first thing that comes to your mind kind of deal. So So the first one, what are some resources or people that have had a big time impact on you?
First of all, like my family, you know, I got 3 brothers. 2 parents, you know, I got 2 older brothers and 1 younger, and you know, my mom and dad, they were big on us in sports, and I learned a lot from my brothers playing sports. And then when it comes to the profession, Craig Fitzgerald, he's the head strength coach at the University of Tennessee, Joe DeFranco, huge influence. You know, I wouldn't have gotten this job without him, and he's helped me develop my program. Jim Smith, Tim Karen. I'd say those guys have really kind of I've leaned on. You know, hey man, like, hey Tim, like, what do you think about this? Or hey Joe, I'll take a picture of our workout and I'll send it to Joe D, and he just like, hey, thumbs up, man, keep killing it. Looks good here. You know. So
awesome.
Those guys.
Okay. So what are some quotes that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and Coach Fitz, you know, he got me, you know, he's the one that got me my start, you know.
That's big time.
He brought me to Penn State and Houston, and, you know, he's such a good strength coach. And he's got so much energy. If I didn't learn from him on how to handle like a big room, I wouldn't be able to do it here, you know.
No, that's super valuable. Okay. And the next question, so what are some quotes that you live by?
What's that?
What are some quotes that you live by?
Quotes?
Yeah.
I love this quote, man. I really do. I put it on every card. I used to do a different quote on each card I did, but then I just put the same one every time. Humble enough to train, confident enough to perform. So I'm not better than nobody. I'm humble enough to train. I ain't better than nobody. I got to train just hard. I got to be the hardest trainer in the room because I ain't better than nobody. But I'm confident enough to perform. When I get on that field, I'm the best thing going. Like in my mind, I'm the baddest mofo on the field. And I'm not saying that to anybody. but in my mind, I believe that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm humble enough to train, but I'm confident enough to perform, and that's huge here in the WWE because those lights are bright, and everybody's watching. We got millions of subscribers on the WWE Network.
Yeah.
They got thousands in attendance. So you better be confident to perform. The only way to gain confidence is that you know that you put in the work and you put in the training. So I got to be humble enough to train, but I'm confident enough to perform.
Okay. No, I like that. Yeah, that's big time. And then the last kind of question in this little series. So what's the best advice that you think you've ever been given?
Man, that's a tough one. Man, just in general, or just in...
Yeah, just in general. Could be anything. Or it could relate to anything, you know what I mean?
Joe D said this to me once, and he's like, you know, everyone says, like, more is better, but that's not necessarily the case. Better is better. So that's really helped me.
Yeah.
Not try to shove 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah.
Like, less is more. Like, or just better is better. Like, a better workout is better because you're doing better exercises. Yeah. Better for your function. More isn't necessarily like. If I can, it's not about how much I can fit on that board or that paper. Like, oh man, I got this, and I got 3 sets of abs, and I got this. Like, no, like it's just like better is better. Yeah. That's a huge piece of advice that I've learned, and it's hard because you don't realize you want to get that effect when you train. You want to be like, oh man, like that was a good one. But it's so hard for people to understand that. Yeah. Because they don't think that when they walk through those doors that they got to get workout in. Exactly. They're like, oh man, like, oh man, I need more. Yeah. No. We want that feeling. We want you to walk out of here feeling good. Yeah. Feeling like there's meat on the bone. Because when you constantly overdo it and you like, you eat all the meat off the bone, you eat all the meat on the bone, you eat all the meat off the bone, next thing you know, bam, you're fucking hurt. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Or bam, you're out for 3 weeks. How about I'm going to just get this good workout in, this good training session in, and then I'll come back and I'll do another good one tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm going to come back and do another good one tomorrow. And I'm going to come back and do another good one tomorrow. And guess what? I'm going to hit a PR. Yeah. Bam. You know? Just that simple. And then bam, you know, if I'm laying down on my back, looking at the ceiling in a pool of my sweat, I probably got a good workout in, but now I got to take. Now my body needs 2 days to recover. Yeah. But you're not going to let it recover 2 days because you're psycho. And you got to do that again. You're addicted to it, so now you got to do that again tomorrow. Now you need 4 days to recover. Yeah. Now you keep going deeper in the rabbit hole. So that helped me because I trained like that. You know, I was like, I'm like, oh man, like I had to push myself to the limit. And take us on sled friends and all that stuff. So. That advice by Joe D was pretty helpful. Okay. You know, and you know, better is better, not more isn't better. Yeah. You know, but man, I've got good advice from a lot of different areas, whether it was at Harvard, whether it was from my brothers, whether it was some freaking movies, like any Rocky movie out there you can learn from. Yeah,
big fan. I'm a big fan.
Whenever you're in doubt of what to do and how to train, like, just watch a Rocky, you know? There you go.
You're right.
Like, you know, like that's huge. Yeah. But yeah, just going back to the people that I told you influenced me, and I'm sure they taught me a lot of quote or pieces of advice.
No, that's awesome. The way. Okay. And then last question here. So what projects are you currently working on, and how can people kind of follow your journey a bit?
Projects. Well, we it's a good time to be in NXT right now.
Okay.
NXT. We hired a sports science company that's like going to be our liaison on guide us to which particular devices and things like that we're going to be are like at the latest and greatest in the field. And so some of those projects I can't really say for sure.
Okay.
But I just know that when you very soon, there's going to be a lot more technology in our weight room.
Okay.
Devices.
Yeah.
Bar speed measurement.
Ooh, okay. That's exciting.
Force development. Some cool things. We had a meeting last week. Last week was a good week. Last week was a meeting with that company who now we partner with. They're called Games Group. Okay. And they're going to lead us in the direction of the future of training. I'm a big believer in old school. Yeah. You got to have old school, but you got to have new school too. Yeah. I don't want to go old school, and I don't want to be all old school. I want to have just a good right mix of each. And so we're going to be implementing those very soon. Okay. I'm excited about that. It's another challenge for me. And I got an assistant, Tanner Robinson. He's just on board. So for us, so that'll be unique. And then the cool thing about here, like, is there's always something going on, man. There's like we just announced last night on Monday Night Raw, or 2 nights ago, that the first ever women's pay-per-view is going to be in October. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So now, like in NXT, a lot of our girls in NXT and our females, they're going to have an opportunity to be on that pay-per-view. Yeah. So like, that's super cool. We're going to get them ready. And then, and we got Takeover coming up soon. Our biggest event here. We got to get our top guys ready. But then we also just signed 16 new people on Monday. So we got 16 new recruits that we got to get them on the level. Like, I got to show them the ropes. Yeah. But I still got some top guys that have been here for 2-3 years. Yeah. It's like, it's so much challenge. It's like, we have a brand new freshman class. Yeah. But the training got rolling. Like, exactly. You got this guy Ricochet that he needs training just like he's been rolling. But then now you got the new guy coming in. Ricochet's the top guy. Yeah. You can't stop training him. You got the new crew coming in. So how do you gotta it's this constant challenge, man. Yeah, no, I'm with that. You got a guy like Mojo Rowley, complete animal, freak. He's coming in from the road. He's got to get his training in. But it's just a monster. It's a consistent train that's just rolling. It's like so many things. But it's a challenge and it's fun. It keeps me on my toes. No, that's good stuff. A lot of cool things happening in the company right now. Okay, awesome. And then the last thing is just, how can people reach out to you and follow you? My Instagram, FLA_Hayes. Okay. Email, Sean.Hayes@WWEcorp.com. And there's a website. Well, yeah, I would say that email or that Instagram or WWE at NXT Instagram has at WWE NXT. Either of those. Okay. Fair enough. Well, Coach Hayes, I can't thank you enough for your time. This was amazing. A lot of good things, a lot of good takeaways that I took away, and I know a lot of things that the listeners are going to be able to get from it. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate it. Your guy, Denzel, he's already killing it. Let's go. Week, so. Good stuff. That's the hometown hero. We're all rooting for him back here. So I'm excited for him. So awesome. We got to get him right. Get him right there. Yeah. No, I like it. He's the future. We got to keep an eye on him. No, definitely. Yeah, he's got a lot of good things in store, and I've seen him wrestle in college so much that it's like he makes it look effortless. So I'm really excited to see what he does, and hopefully I can come out and catch a match out there. So that's great. Yeah, man. Anytime, Coach. Good stuff. Appreciate it, dude. That was fun. Yeah. No, awesome. And once again, thank you for your time, and I hope we can connect again soon in the future. Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. A big thanks to Coach Sean Hayes for taking the time out of his day to chat with me and share some of his training methods and ideas and experiences. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please like, comment, share, and go ahead and give it a 5-star rating on iTunes. Once again, thank you for your time. And until next time, this is the GAMU of Performance Podcast.